Well, let's now get a read on all the themes set to drive markets this week. Pete McGuire from XM joins us now live. Pete, great to have you on this Monday morning. All right, you're sitting down at your trading screen for the week. What's on the docket? What's going to move these markets? Give us a bit of volatility.
Well, good morning and lovely to see you both in the studio. So hello to both of you. Look, it's a big week, and I think it's a slew of data. What we're going to see as far as ECB, Bank of Japan, and of course Bank of Canada, Cara. So those three central banks, inflation story, that is just gaining momentum every day. What happens as far as the Australian situation with inflation data coming out on Wednesday? I'm looking closely at Bank of England and what their comments are as far as Rishi Sunak, their finance minister. So yeah, it's game on, and I'm holding the wheel very, very tightly because I think there'll be a fair bit of volatility over the next couple of weeks.
So you're expecting a bit of a white knuckle ride then, are you, Pete? Because also, as we referenced there, comments from the Fed Chair Jerome Powell on Friday. So he is expecting those some inflationary pressure, but still maintaining it's a transitory situation. Plus, of course, We've got the looming taper.
Well, exactly right. I'm not sure what shops he shops at, dear Jerome Powell, because all the shops that I shop at, Andrew, they seem to go up in value as far as the price of everything. So maybe he's at a certain shop and their prices are stagnating. So there's the first side. Yeah, taper talks and what happens across that US Fed zone. Let's just see where November takes us and what happens as far as US dollar index. The other side, of course, is, there will be volatility. There'll be volatility across the currency markets, the deepest markets in the world, the biggest markets in the world. We think that yen will show maybe a little bit further softness. Canadian dollar, keep an eye on that. Very closely watch the Kiwi dollar. And I think also the other side, I'm very closely monitoring what's happening as far as pound. There's a rate rise due in December, as we know, 3 further in 22, and stagnation fears are really crippling or starting to cripple as far as growth projections across Eurozone and the UK.
Pete, what about the local unit, the Australian dollar, just sitting below that 75 handle at the moment? Expectations, is that part of that broader US dollar story?
I'm worried about, yes, it will be, as far as what happens with the US dollar, Cara. I'm concerned as far as what the inflation story runs on Wednesday. Also, the unknown unknowns as far as Evergrande and the unravelling of their property sector and where we play into all of that situation. So that'll, I think, very much become a concern for all traders the first couple of weeks of November. And I'm expecting, as I said, a lot of volatility over till the end of the year. That could be currency driven. Certainly the commodity markets are very, very strongly bid up if you're looking at crude oil. So yeah, I think there's a lot of exhaustion to upsides and downsides across many of those asset classes.
Yeah, you mentioned Evergrande there, Pete, of course, managing to avoid default again. I mean, essentially, are we viewing this as just sort of kicking the can down the road?
I think so, Andrew. 90 million apartments, 90 million apartments are uninhabited in China. It's a $62 trillion part of their economy. It's the largest property sector or property market in the world, dwarfs every other market, and $11 trillion with a T, trillion dollars worth of unsold inventory. So yeah, how many other Evergrandes are there? And then all of the linkages as far as the supply chains that are embedded into that business model, from plumbers to drainers to electricians, and then the supply of all goods and services across every compartment of the apartment or home building arena. So yeah, how it plays out is going to be intriguing, and it's I'm sitting here just saying, right, keep a very close eye on it to all of our traders, and also what impact it has to the Aussie dollar.
Pete, what are we seeing when it comes to oil price action this week? What are the updates when it comes to OPEC?
I keep on putting my finger up every week, Cara, and I just point further to the sky because it keeps on going up. We've got WTI just nearly at $84 a barrel. Who could have believed it? It's up the best part of 40% in the last couple of months, from 60 to 84, approaching 85. Brent's now at 85.50. Is it a $90 handle come into November or December? We haven't got any geopolitical shocks. We've got plenty of crude out there. We've got the Biden administration and what they did as far as containing shale production. So that's an issue, and they're really getting those wildcatters are starting to say, well, I want to be back involved in this. due to higher energy prices, so the US and that's those concerns. And then you've got the other side, economies are starting to open back up, and in turn, demand picture is increasing, and they're coming from the International Energy Agency. I always get that one confused over there in Paris. So the IEA is saying that they're going to be strong numbers coming into 22 and so on. So all of those factors, I think, are going to drive crude prices higher at the moment. And that's an inflation story that everyone's keeping a very close eye on if we approach that 90 to 95 handle.